Hi everybody, how are you today? Hope you're doing good. So today we are going to do some purple blooms. Today is Purple Day. Let me see if I can get my stuck bottle of paint open. This is Color Place Antique White, right out of the container. And you can see how much I'm using. I'm putting it so that it is almost like a finger's width away from the edges. That's how much you want to use for a bloom, for any bloom, really. You want to get it out there. So you've got enough to make its way out to the edges when you spin. This is Liquitex Brilliant Purple. And I think what I'm going to do, I don't know, do we want to do a radial bloom and see individual colors, or do we want to do, I think we're going to do our normal bloom, just because I'm doing almost all purples, and I've got a little bit of, I'm going to add a little bit of the Amsterdam Pearl White and this little Piggy Velvet. So since everything is going to kind of be the same shades, we'll go with the standard bloom. A radial bloom is nice when you have all different colors. And the radial bloom is the one that, like, you start with one in the center and you put blobs around the edges. Here comes our Amsterdam Pearl White, which I'm going to need to mix some more of after I'm done here, because we're getting kind of low. This is a beautiful white that has pearlescence to it, luminescence. Next is Primary Elements Boysenberry. This is one of my favorites in the purple line. I don't use it a lot, and I don't know why. I mean, I have so many colors here, I kind of forget what I got. And I look at them all before I start, and I'm thinking, what do I want to do today? But that is beautiful. Next is Amsterdam Permanent Blue Violet. So it's got the word blue in it, but it is the most amazing purple. It is, along with Dioxazine Purple, it is my favorite deep purple. Kind of get that around. Now you see what's happening. This Color Place is a little bit thinner than the PPG that I really like to use, but I'm finishing up this Color Place. So you want a thick pillow to hold up your paints. You can see that as I'm putting these colors on, it's kind of seeping a little bit. And that's because the Color Place is much, much thinner than the PPG. So you kind of got to work quick here with this so that your colors are still staying up. This is this little Piggy Velvet. It is an interference, so you're not going to see the color of this. What you're going to see in the end is the purple interference within it spreading out over your colors. Going to pop the bubbles. This is just going to be a quickie video. And then I want to use black cell activator, since this is primarily a lighter painting. So my cell activator is the thinnest of the three things on here. The pillow is the thickest. The colors are thinner, and the cell activator is the thinnest. I want to put a good amount down on there. I'm going to get my little blow dryer. And blow. I am getting ready for our big street fair that's coming up. I have a booth. I hope to do well. And so I'm making a lot of coasters. Look at how pretty is that. We're going to let that do its thing. I see a few more bubbles we're going to get rid of. So, this is really gorgeous. We've got some blues in there, which probably came from that, where did that come from? Let me think a minute here. Probably from the Boysenberry. It's got a little bit of bluish tinge to it. Okay, we're letting that do its thing. We're going to get our tool. We're going to scoop up some of that purplish. Get it on these ends, on the corners, I should say. This way when we spin, it'll go. And here we go. So I'm going to spin in both directions. Oh, pretty. See how that spreads out? Spin the other way. And you want to make sure you get enough paint off that there's no movement left. That's how you know you got enough off so you don't get cracking when it dries. I've only had a problem with cracking once. And, oh wow, look at that. Only had a problem with cracking once. And, yes, if you have problems with constant cracking, you can put a box, like a box top, over your item, your painting, and it will slow down the drying. So cracking comes when the surface dries too quick, and then as the underneath dries, it pulls down on that already dry top, and it causes it to crack. So you kind of, if you cover it up with something, the top won't dry as fast and you'll be golden. Cracking also happens when there's too much paint left. So you want to make sure you get enough off. I'm taking this off so it doesn't go flying everywhere, and I get to keep it and use it for another painting. And we're going to give it one more spin. Okay, and just about nothing's coming off anymore. So I'm going to show you up close. See that blue in there? Isn't that like mystical? How pretty is that? And you could see the pearl white over there, like right there. The velvet is just kind of lingering. Oh gosh, that's what's giving us the blue. The velvet. It's a blue-purple interference. Now I remember. How pretty is that? So, let's do another one. I like to do them in twos, just because I think someone might like to purchase two of the same color combination. I also do them in fours, if someone wants a set of 4. Gotta try and appeal to what everyone likes. So I'm getting rid of this paint. I actually think I will just use this as my pillow for the next one. So let's put down another tile. I'm going to stir this up just a little bit. Put some down. Now, as you're going to see, this paint is thicker than the color place that I used. It's going to hold its shape. And what's going to happen is I'm going to get an even better bloom out of this. Because it's even thicker and it's going to hold up these colors that I'm placing on top of it. And in the end, we're not going to see much of this pillow if I blow correctly. So I'm going to be very careful not to blow into my pillow here, or try to at least. So that you don't see as much of the gray. I don't mind if you see some of the gray. So I noticed when I first started out, I didn't know how much paint to use. Didn't have a clue. And I noticed that because of the cost of everything, I was being kind of skimpy compared to what the pros use. So at one time I tried it with a lot of paint, and boy did I get a beautiful bloom. So I always try to remember, don't be skimpy, because we're going to scrape this into my little container anyway, and it's going to make a good pillow. So there's no need to worry about, no need to be skimpy. Like nothing is wasted. I want to use a good amount of this because that had a really good look. So I know you can't see it. This pillow has spread a little bit, but not as much as the other one. And but I can see that I still have a mound. It's holding up my paint colors. And I particularly try not to be skimpy on the cell activator so I don't run out before I've done the job. Just trying to get those areas where there's ripples of paint that didn't kind of get spread out. This velvet here is gorgeous on these purples. Okay, let's let that do its thing. Now, look at the cells I got. Compared to, I'm going to bring the other one back over. Here's this one. Okay, pretty. But look at all the more cells I got on that one. Many more cells. And that is because the pillow is thicker. So pretty. All right, we're going to spin. All right, it seems to be going that way, so we're going to pull it over this way so it runs over there. We are going to take a little scoop of paint right here. Pop that on this corner. Might as well just touch up all my corners right now while I'm here. Okay. We're going to spin again. And the nice thing about scraping your paint into that jar to use for a pillow later on is that you're also not going to be, look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? You're not going to be, if you're scraping, you're not going to be as skimpy with your pillow either. It's a mind over matter thing. When you know you have something, when you're not wasting it, and you're going to use it again, you're more likely to use enough. We all live on a budget, especially in these times with everything going up in price. How beautiful is this? I'm going to lift it up for you. How beautiful. Look at those cells. Do you see what a difference a thicker pillow makes? So you might say, how can I thicken that color place right out of the can? So all you have to do is loosen the lid, take the lid off, and just set it back on top lightly so that some air can get in there. Let it sit for a few days. The water in it will evaporate. It will get thicker. Just make sure that you stir it every day so it doesn't form a skin. And you will have, it will thin out. So that's what you do. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? So that's my little helpful tips on these blooms and that pillow. Thicker clearly gives you a much better bloom. And so I kind of can't wait until I'm done with this color place, because it thinned out some by leaving it open, but not as much as I would like. So there you go, everybody. Hope you learned something here today. Beautiful purples for a nice Sunday. Today's Sunday when I'm taping this. All right, everybody. If you learned something, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up on the video, and I will see you next time. All right. Thank you.